What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Steve or Hood Gaming, and today we are back for yet another Football Manager rebuild. You guys have been loving the rebuild so far. We've already completed 3. We've rebuilt Manchester United until they replicated the 1998-1999 treble. We've also managed to rebuild Barcelona by sorting out their finances, eventually clearing all their debt, and ultimately putting the club back into a very good standing. We then took on the challenge of AC Milan, trying to revert to them back to their former glories, especially in Serie A and more notably in the Champions League with some of the elite level players that they've had. Today's challenge is something completely new for me. I have never managed in this country, and as you can tell by the title of the video and the thumbnail, we are heading to Scotland to rebuild Celtic. So guys, we obviously know in the season that has just finished, Celtic unfortunately did lose to Rangers. Rangers went the entire season unbeaten. Steven Gerrard was seen lifting the trophy, and Celtic kind of faltered and finished a lot lower down the league. This is what we're trying to do. We are trying to rebuild Celtic so that that effectively doesn't happen. I've seen in other guys' rebuilds, they sort of simulate the first season, get to the end of that, and then go from there like here it's sort of real life. I don't like doing that. That's not the way that the season's going to pan out. This isn't an FM22 database, so we are just going to jump in. The idea is that we are going to spend 5 seasons at Celtic, and ideally, we're not going to let Rangers touch any of the trophies in Scotland, whilst trying to replicate some of the more historic Champions League or at least European football nights at Celtic Park, and ideally get our hands on a European trophy. Now, I'm not going to put any promises out there. This is going to be tough. I've never managed in Scotland before. I assume it's going to be relatively difficult in terms of finances, TV money, hence why getting back into the Champions League, at least into the group stages, is vitally important. But before we get into things fully, guys, if you are new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below and ring that bell so you're told each time that we upload a video. So let's get into the game. We're at the start of season 1 and I've made some transfers. Let's get into it. Right then, start of season 1. These are the transfers that we have made, and we've not really made any ins and outs. Obviously, a lot of these deals that have been made already kind of came before us. The likes of El Yunusi, Laxalt, Shane Duffy, etc., coming in on loan from their respective clubs. The bits of business that we have done, we've brought in Alexander Milivojevic. Swedish defender. He's been capped by Sweden, 7 appearances. He's only 28 years of age. I think it gives us a little bit of depth in the centre-back position, which I think we kind of were lacking. Even though Duffy did come in on loan, I think it needed just an extra body in there. I don't know how much he's going to start, because obviously we do have Christoph Ayer and Christopher Julian, who are probably going to be our lead 2 centre-backs, but having someone in those positions just behind always helps with depth. You never know what sort of injuries you are going to come up with. We've also managed to go to Everton, and we've pulled in Tom Davies on loan. I think he could be another rotation option, as you can see with the comparison in the top right. We've got Scott Brown still, we've got Callum McGregor, Christoph Ayer can play there as well, and then Tom Davies, Ryan Christie. We've got a lot of options in that midfield spot, but again, I think bodies and depth is something that we are going to be trying to achieve. In terms of finances though, guys, one good thing about Celtic, they don't have any debts, which is great. Obviously, at AC Milan and Barcelona in those rebuilds, we've had debts to deal with. Celtic, not so much. In terms of their finances, I basically spent everything, and I've kind of chucked everything into the wage budget. 555,000 a week for the wage budget, and obviously we've got nothing of a transfer budget left, but that's kind of the way I like to do things to keep this trajectory of the balance going up and up and up. In terms of some of the other stuff, we've gone in and we've tidied up the staff. We do now have the best staff in Scotland. We've now got pretty much, it's just the goalkeeping that lets me down. So we've got 7 coaches, 3 PAs, doing really, really well. It's exactly where I always want to be in terms of these things. Obviously, in terms of training, guys, if you are new around here, I've done my own training schedule, Hood Gaming's training. Almost rhymes. If you want to check that out, this is the training schedule. I've got a video on it where I break things down a little bit more and some of the influential things that I think you need in your training schedules. There's also a download for this training schedule, but I'm trying to give this Celtic team the best opportunity to get the job done. In terms of the club vision, this is what we need to achieve in the season. We need to, as a club culture, develop players using the club's youth system. Their facilities are pretty good. If we go into the info and then we go over to the facilities, as you can see here, they have excellent training facilities, good corporate facilities, great youth facilities, good academy coaching, and exceptional youth recruitment. So I'm hoping each year we actually have a good intake of youth players, and maybe one or two of those can get into the first team. Ongoing 5-year plan though, sign players to sell for a profit. I feel that this is going to be a constant thing. We're going to be picking players up for cheap, getting them playing quite well, and then ultimately saying goodbye to them. Sign young players to develop for profit, much the same as above. It's sort of finance related again. Maintain the club status as the most reputable team in Scotland. Don't you worry, Stevie G will not be touching that league trophy, I hope. Work within the wage budget, standard financial things. In terms of the current season, they want us to reach the playoffs of the Champions League. It's kind of a step before where I wanted to be. I kind of wanted to make the group stage, to be perfectly honest. Scottish Premiership, win the Scottish Prem, win the Scottish Cup, win the Betfred Cup, which, if you're not familiar with Scottish football, is the Carabao Cup. It's a secondary cup within Scotland. And then obviously the Scottish Cup is the equivalent of the FA Cup, shall we say. So that's kind of it. In terms of the tactic, we are running the GYR-FM 4-2-2 goal getter. Again, I've done a video with Gareth's amazing tactic on this channel. I'll flash up the thumbnail now so you can see which one you need to go and click on. It is a very good tactic. It's done very, very well in the test. And I think in terms of what you can achieve in Scotland with this tactic, I just think you can score a boatload of goals. And I just kind of wanted to see how it would work. So in terms of things, this is the team as is. We've got two goalkeepers who are basically the same, who are going to rotate in. We've got John Joe Kenny on loan, Shane Duffy on loan, Julian, who I actually think is a good little player. I think he could be quite tidy for us. The jumping reach, being 6'5", and the heading, I think he could do really, really well. Taylor at left back, Aya, Davies, Elianusi, Christie. This is the main man though. Udard. I don't know how you say Udard. Sure. Edward. Sure. Him up top. I'm going to figure out how to say his name at the end of this season. I guarantee it. He's going to be the main man up front. He's very consistent. He loves a big match, but he is currently already wanted by Everton, Newcastle, Southampton, West Ham, and Wolves. So, going to be difficult to keep hold of this guy. And then obviously Lee Griffiths up top. We've got some other players as well. Some that people may have heard of. Dembele, obviously for Celtic, he is listed for loan. He's only 17 years of age at the moment, but he does have that 5-star potential ability. He could be fantastic. He's listed as a breakthrough prospect at the moment. Fingers crossed we can get him some game time this season, maybe in the Betfred Cup. Another one that I like the look of is Callum McGregor. I think he looks like a nice little player once he comes back from his injury, which is fractured toe. Ouch. 4 to 9 days. He'll be back very soon. I think he will dominate one of those positions in the central midfield. And then obviously we've still got Scott Brown, club legend, fantastic mentals, decent enough technicals for what I need him to be. He's either going to be a box-to-box midfielder for me, a deep line playmaker. I think most likely the box-to-box is going to be the likely option. Great leadership, great determination, exactly what I need. He's going to be one of the most high people in the social groups and the hierarchy, so we need to keep him sweet. In terms of things though, guys, I want to get into that Champions League group stage. Let's see what happens at the end of season 1. So then we are back at the end of season 1, and as you can see, Rangers did not lift the Scottish Premiership. We did, with 102 points. I don't actually know if that's any good. Oh, I've just looked on my other monitor. That is exactly the same amount of points, actually, as what Rangers did achieve in this actual season that is just finished, with Gerrard lifting the title, or with Rangers lifting the title, should we say. The 90+ goal difference shows that the 4-2-2 tactic is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. The main man up top, 45 goals for him. Great for Lee Griffiths as well. Most assists coming out of Ryan Christie with 20. It's quite a very impressive return. And then everything else relatively standard. So we managed to win the Scottish Premier League. In terms of the other competitions though, we did get through in the Champions League, and I'm going to show you what happened in a second. We also won the Scottish Cup, so league and cup double, and unfortunately we're knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Betfred Cup by Rangers, which is disappointing, but that's not really the trophy that we're here to win. We're trying to return glorious European nights to Celtic. Kind of like this one. So in the Champions League, that's what I'm gonna run you through the schedule first and foremost. In terms of things, as you can see, the Champions League, let's filter the competitions and just get the Champions Cup here. So as you can see, the path to qualifying seems okay, relatively straightforward so far. We beat Cluj, we beat Ludogorets, and we got ourselves into the Champions League draw. Now, as you can see, guys, Champions League Group H was not easy. Shakhtar Donetsk, Juventus, and Marseille all in the group with us, and as you can see, we managed to put Juventus out. We qualified, we went through in second behind Shakhtar. Juve unfortunately dropping into the Europa League, so we played 6 games. We beat Marseille and Juventus at home. We had 3 draws, both the games against Shakhtar and away at Juve, and then we lost away at Marseille. Not too bad. Very, very good return, especially against teams like Juventus. They are going to be big powerhouse teams. Beating them is fantastic. However, then we go through into the first knockout stage and we have come up against Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. This is a common theme. If you've watched my AC Milan rebuild, we faced Liverpool in the Champions League in one of those seasons, and they taught us a lesson, and they kind of did the same here. In the first game at home at Celtic Park, we played them, we lost 4-3. Goals from Mane, Fabinho, Virgil van Dijk, and Jota doing the business. And then the one at Anfield, I would prefer not to speak about. We lost 5-0. Mane, 2 for Salah, and 2 for Gabriel Barbosa. In that tie. I'm just going to show this. I just want to show, let's turn this into formations vertical. Let's move this one over just so you can kind of see what we're dealing with. So their team, Alisson, Fabinho at right back, Matip, Van Dijk, Gomez, Henderson, Milner. They changed to a 4-2-3-1 rather than a 4-3-3. Salah on the right, Firmino in the hole, Mane on the left, and Gabriel Barbosa up top, who they did pick up for 19.25 million. Looks like a good return, especially with scoring in the Champions League. In other competitions, though, let's go over to the other competitions. Scottish Cup, we managed to win in the final, beating Rangers 4-2. A good result, if you ask me, winning that cup. Goals from Julian Lee Griffiths with a penalty, Duffy, and then the main man, Edouard, up top. Getting the job done. Formation, as you can see, going very, very well. But there is someone who I do need to speak to you about. Now, I mentioned previously about the good facilities coming through at Celtic and some of the players that could come through at Celtic. So, ladies and gentlemen, please meet Adam Walker. Now, he's 15 years of age. He comes through our youth intake, and I think as a goalkeeper, he's brilliant already. So he's good on both feet. He can play both goalkeeper and sweeper keeper. His goalkeeping technical attributes are really good. Good aerial reach, good command of the area, communication, etc. Great handling for 16 handling is good. Is elite level handling regardless, let alone at 15 years of age. His one-on-ones could do with a bit of work. Same with his throwing, his positioning, etc. I think that could all improve. Obviously, he's come in on a youth contract. He's only on £30 a week. But if you look at the player comparison, guys, I thought it would expand it a bit more. If you look at the player comparison in the top right of your screen, he's only marginally just worse than my other 2 goalkeepers. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to chuck him in. I've given him the Gianluigi Donnarumma treatment. He is the number 99 at Celtic. And I think for season number 2, we are going to try and keep him as the main goalkeeper. I'll put him in the formation and then we'll just simulate the season out. In terms of transfers though, let's go into our transfer history and you can see what else has happened. We brought in Billy Gilmore, I think as a loan. I think he's good, young Scotsman. We did bring him in January. Obviously, you know, with these rebuilds, guys, I do dip in January to try and fix a couple things, pick up free transfers, that sort of thing. I still don't play any of the games. I let the assistant do that, but we try and do stuff off the field to try and make things better for ourselves next season. We also brought in Reece Nelson on loan, 21 years of age from Arsenal. We're only paying his wages. And as you can see, his return was kind of okay if we go into his career stats. For Celtic, 12 appearances, 17 appearances in all competitions, 4 goals, 5 assists. Not too bad. He is young. We needed that extra body on the left and the right wing. He can play in both, so that's why we brought in Reece Nelson. We also picked up Danilo Cataldi He was transfer listed. I feel this is going to be a common theme throughout this video, guys, where we go on in January, we pick up players who are on the transfer list, and in the summer, pick up players who are on the transfer list, get them back, get them playing for a year, and then probably end up selling them on to a bigger club. No offense, Celtic fans, but when some of the elite level clubs, especially in England, come calling, a lot of these players are going to want to leave. So he comes in to be another body in that central midfield. I think he's fantastic. Obviously for us this year, 14 starts, 7 sub appearances, 4 goals, 9 assists in that central midfield role in all competitions, averaged a 7.45. So a very, very good return on him. We also, everybody's football manager favorite, we brought in Matías Arezzo. However, I couldn't register him with a work permit. He'd not played enough games or played in a reputable league. So we bought him for, let's have a look. We bought him for 1.7 million. And then we loaned him out immediately to Bordeaux over in France, where he had 14 appearances, 3 goals. I'm hoping that is enough to have his work permit granted for season 2, but when Arezzo is that cheap, you kind of pick him up, don't you? And then there's this guy, a youth player, Derek Wallace, came in. I thought he again looked relatively decent, coming in at a 1.5 star on the wing, already aged 15 years of age. However, in January we got raided. So I'm going to move my camera so that you guys can see what's happened here. So Callum McGregor, the central midfielder, who I was quite excited about, he left. He went to Villarreal, 10.5 million up front. Ismaila Soro, he left to go to Alaves, 2.6 million. Ross Duchen went to Spiazza on a small amount of money. Christoph Ayer, despite having had a very good season, he left to Dortmund for 15 million. Dembele, the man who we said could be a future potential star for us, he left for Chelsea. Annoyingly, only 1.3 million up front, up to 5 million in clauses. Disappointing. Tom Rogic, he's a central attacker midfielder. This formation doesn't play one. We let him go. He's gone to Dinamo Moscow. Obviously, there is the Arezzo loan, and then 2 more smaller transfers to smaller Scottish-based clubs. So as you can see, we got raided. We've got a decent transfer budget. We've got 17 million here. We've got a nice overall club balance. It's always something that I'm keen to work on. The appearance in the Champions League, getting through to the knockout stages, again, fantastic. But alas, we haven't got as far as I would have liked in that competition. So that is season 1, guys, a league and cup double to show for it. Let's go into the job history. I'll update you on this at the end of each season. So we managed to win the league competitions, obviously the Scottish Premiership and the Scottish Cup, and I did manage to pick up Manager of the Month. Nice. Love it. So moving things forward, I will be back at the start of season 2 when hopefully we've done some business and reinvested a lot of that money that we got in January. I'll be back in a sec. Alrighty, start of season number 2, and let's kick things off with a little bit of a transfer update. I'm going to start on the players out. No major outages, if you ask me. Albion Jete is how I'm going to say this guy's name. He has left the club. He has gone to Norwich for 8.75 million. He played a decent amount, 33 appearances for us last season. That's not enough goals for me. 14 goals in 33 appearances for a striker in the Scottish League. Not for me. So when Celtic came knocking, he's a goner. In terms of players in, we have had an amazing summer. Now, I said what we're going to be doing in this save is basically picking players up and sort of rehabilitating them, picking up young players and selling them on for a massive profit. And that is exactly what we have done here. Liam Shaw, I don't remember this signing. I don't know how he's come about to being at the club, but he's here, coming in for 1.4k. And then this is where we go and we look in January at the players who are expiring contracts. And this is where we start picking players up for free. Mehdi Bouraba, he's come in. Unfortunately, he didn't get a work permit. I can apply for another one later on in the season, which I thought he would get one with 9 caps. I'm trying to loan him out, see if we can get him out, get playing some games to also help with this work permit situation. But unfortunately, despite getting him in for free, we can't actually play him, which is really devastating. Cameron Carter-Vickers, again, made some changes. Obviously, we got weakened in the January last season. I needed to make some younger signings. He comes in, obviously, he was been released by Spurs. Decent enough, nothing actually spectacular, powerful centre back, nice and strong, big, 6'1", 17 strength. I think he will do a solid job for us. Ashley Young's contract was up at Inter Milan, and I thought we needed some experience in the team. He's obviously played for England. You know, everyone knows who Ashley Young is. There's a bit more depth on that left-hand side. He can also play on the right-hand side, should he be needed to play that. I know he's old, but we needed some experience. We also brought in Robbie Brady. He was released by Burnley, which was quite surprising for me. Again, it's another bit of depth on that left-hand side, another bit of experience, 29 years of age, Irish international. I think he could do a very good job for us, good on both feet, and he can kind of play on the right as well if we need him to. John Lundstrom's contract was up at Sheffield United, so we managed to pick him up on a free transfer as well. Again, a nice, well-rounded player. We've let Scott Brown go at the end of the season, I believe. So it's just one of those things. We kind of need those bodies in there to replace the ones that we've let go. And I think John Lundstrom on a free transfer is a pretty good pickup. Now we get into the craziness, right? We had some budget to spend. I've spent 22.5 million. And this is my first major signing, Sebastiano Esposito. He's 19. Obviously, he kind of needs no introduction in FM circles. He's from Inter Milan. He's great on both feet. He's 19 years of age. And I think this guy is going to fire us to glory. He's an advanced forward. Well, I'm going to play him as an advanced forward. And at 19 years of age, he's fantastically well-rounded and has spent the first season on loan at a lower level club in Italy. In terms of his career, he scored 4 professional goals. He scored 1 for Inter as well. We paid 7.25 million for him, which I honestly think is a absolute steal. I can envisage selling this guy later in the save, maybe for 30+ million, whilst also firing us to glory and trophies, which is exactly what we are looking for. Good player, nice all round, still young, only 19. He's going to be the man who's going to lead the line, if you ask me. We also brought in Enrico Del Prato. He's on loan from Atalanta. I think he's a bit more balanced at right back than what we have previously. He's nice and well-rounded, but he's nothing exceptional. Jack of all trades, maybe master of none, but he can play as a decent enough fullback. And we also brought in Sandro Tonali. AC Milan didn't activate the £13.5 million option to buy off of his loan from Brescia. He was unhappy at Brescia, so we went in, paid the money, and here he is. 15.25 million, I think, for him. He is going to be the best player in Scotland by a country mile. He's only 21 years of age. He's already been capped by Italy in this save. As I said, best player in Scotland comfortably, if you ask me. Also, in terms of the squad, we have where is the main man? Mateus Arezzo, following his loan at Bordeaux, has now been able to be registered. He now has a work permit. He can play in Scotland, which is fantastic. So imagine this partnership up front, Arezzo, Esposito. It is things Football Manager dreams are made of. I'm just checking my notes down here. I think that's kind of all I need to talk to you guys about. In terms of the tactic though, guys, we mentioned Walker in last season. He's still 15. He's on a youth contract. He's going to be my starting goalkeeper for the season. As you can see in the comparison, all my goalkeepers are the same. I'm back in youth. This 15-year-old Adam Walker is going to go in goal, and Esposito is going to play up top. This is basically what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to simulate this season. I'm going to let the assistant do the rest, but that's what I want. I want Esposito to play as many games as that advanced forward as possible, and I want Walker in net all season to see his growth. Let's simulate season 2, and fingers crossed playing a 15-year-old in goal does not come back to bite me in the backside. So we are back at the end of season 2. This is where things stand. Again, we have retained the Scottish Premiership, which I am ecstatic about. 102 points again, very, very good return in terms of the league. How many did we get the season before? 102 again. Season before 102. This time again 102. In the league, we lost twice, away at St Mirren and at home to Rangers. That's actually a tough one to take. But ultimately we did beat them by a relatively comfortable margin. Esposito, top goal scorer, 47 goals in all comps for him. Absolute monster, along with 11 assists. He's consistent, he puts the ball in the back of the net, and he's now rated as a 4-star player at 14.5 million. As I said, I thought he was going to be a fantastic pickup. And he looks like he has been. He's also got the highest average rating, most assists. Mateus Arezzo and Sandro Tonali coming in both with 19. Arezzo, 24 goals and 19 assists in all competitions. Absolutely ridiculous return from him. And Sandro Tonali had 19 assists along with 4 goals in all of his competitions. But he is wanted. Chelsea, Real Madrid, Valencia. I feel this may be the end of Sandro Tonali at the club already just after one season. Best pass completion, Cameron Carter-Vickers. Again, most player of the match is Esposito. Most yellow cards, Cataldi and Tonali, the Italians who played in central midfield. 12 yellow cards apiece and then 3 red cards for Cataldi as well. Maybe we need to work on that. Maybe we fine him a little bit more for getting sent off so much. So in terms of the other competitions though, guys, this is the state of things. A domestic treble in Scotland. We recouped the Betfred Cup, winning that one. We beat Hearts in the final of that one, relatively straightforward. Diop scored early doors set piece, and then Craig Gordon, the old Celtic goalkeeper, popping one in the net. And Esposito missed a penalty as well. But as you can see, the defense holding strong and getting the job done. Walker, I'll show you him in a minute. His development is pretty nice. Scottish Cup, we managed to win that one as well. We beat Rangers 1-0 in the final. Ryan Christie with the goal before then getting injured in injury time. Again, Walker, as you can see, playing really nicely. 7.3. Remember, he's only 16 at this point. Defense holding strong in front of him and doing the business that way. Obviously, Champions League. This is the biggie, isn't it? The Champions League for me is the holy grail. Let's turn the filter off. The Champions Cup. So we got through Maribor, Victoria Pleasant. So we qualified for the Champions League, and looking at these results, it's not gone very well, has it? So let's expand the group. So we were in a group again with Juventus, second season in a row, Bayern and Lille, and we've been experiencing some issues. Obviously, we are investing in youth. We've got a 19-year-old up front and a 15-year-old in goal. This was kind of inevitable for this season, if you ask me. So we played all 6 games. We didn't win one of them. We drew away at Lille 4-4, and then we lost to Bayern twice, Juve twice, and then at home to Lille. Really, really poor results as well. 3-0 to Bayern, 5-0 to Juve, 5-1 against Juve. Not good. Not good. So we get knocked out of the Champions League. We recoup some money of it though, which is another main thing that we've been trying to do. In terms of the transfers and what has happened though, we've had a few more loanees go out, a few smaller transfers, and on the incomings, we did sign Henry Onyekuru to play on the wing. Again, another rotation option, and Hoover he came in on loan from Wolves. Didn't really play a huge amount, but again, is that cover sort of element that we needed. Came on as a substitute. It's kind of what you need. You need a little bit of depth, especially when you're fighting in 4 competitions as we were up until crashing and burning in the Champions League. Obviously, in terms of the club vision, we're kind of achieving what we need to. Winning the Premiership, trying to get into the group stages of the Champions League. That's kind of expected of me now. And then obviously winning the domestic trophies as well. We did complete a clean sweep of them in season 2. So if we go into the job history, as you can see, doing very well there. Domestic treble in Scotland in season number 3 with the same amount of points as previously. However, we're going to go into the squad. Now, Adam Walker is where I'm going to start. He is now 16 years of age. He looks like he's on the decline, but he's actually not. He's now the best goalkeeper in the club, age 16. We've given him a proper contract. I didn't want anyone snapping him up, so we've given him a proper contract. Age 16 is kind of to be expected. 56 appearances for him. He conceded 61 goals, which isn't the be all and end all, but he did concede 24 and 10 in the Champions League. He kept 25 clean sheets. Now, 2 in the Champions League in the qualifying, 19 in the Scottish Prem, 2 in the Scottish Cup, 2 in the Betfred Cup. So he's done pretty well. He's also now been capped by Scotland, age 16 years of age. So you can tell that he is going to be a very special talent. And hopefully, for the entire course of this save, Adam Walker is our goalkeeper. But what I need to say, did I tell you about Callum Chambers? Where are all my transfers gone? Yes, this has reminded me. So at the end of last season, obviously we did try and pick up some other players who were on transfer listed, etc. Edouard has gone to Arsenal for 27.5 million. That happened right at the start of the season, hence why I forgot, and he wasn't included in the transfer page. Frustrating, but he has gone to Arsenal. How good a season did he have at Arsenal? 21 goals, not too bad. So also we picked up Joe Bryan, Issa Diop and Callum Chambers. Completely forgot about these three guys, obviously, but because we signed them in June, they don't show in this season's transfers, which is really irritating. But Joe Bryan, former Bristol City left back, obviously at Fulham now, comes in, depth option. Issa Diop was a very good option for me, was transfer listed by West Ham. We picked him up for 7.5, and then Callum Chambers again offers that depth at centre back, but can also play right back. So I think we are quite well rounded as a squad, and also that is where, as I'm sure you are wondering, where Edouard had gone. So in terms of things, guys, our whole squad is wanted. Callum Chambers wanted, Diop wanted, Carter Vickers wanted, Tonali wanted, Oliver Netchem's already gone because I forgot to renew his contract in January. Ryan Christie's wanted. My sub goalkeepers wanted. Lee Griffiths, I'm debating whether or not I give him a new contract. Bio's wanted. All of these guys down here. John Lundstrom's wanted. Henderson's wanted. It's crazy. This summer transfer window is going to be ridiculous. As it stands, we've got an £18 million transfer budget. Let's see what happens as we go into season number 3. Right then, we are back to start season 3, and this is what transfer business we've had happen so far. So again, I'm not going to get caught out in reviewing you guys with the early transfers that we did make. Ainsley Maitland-Niles comes in for £7 million from Arsenal. He was transfer listed again. I think he can play in so many positions. I think he offers great versatility for us. That's exactly why I've pulled him in. On the other side of things, Danilo Cataldi, has gone to Wolves. He was wanted by Wolves, and as I said, when the Premier League comes calling, we end up having to sell. This is exactly the sort of case in point I'm trying to prove with this sort of rebuild. We can pull in players for cheap. This guy was transfer listed by Lazio. We paid £3.3 million for him, ended up selling him for 14.75. This is exactly what we're trying to do, fill up the coffers of our own club and move things forward. Other transfers that we have made, though, are pretty good. So John Lundstrom's also left the club. He has gone back to the Premier League. He's gone back to Watford, having not actually played a great deal of football for us. 9 sub appearances, it's not good enough for him. So we got him in for free, sold him for 5.5. Again, as I said, this is going to be a common theme. Madi Barabia, the guy who we couldn't get a work permit for in season 1, still didn't play a lick of football for Celtic, and we've now sold him over to Guingamp in France for £2.2 million. Manny Perez we let leave. Our backup goalkeeper has gone out on loan, and Leo Ferreira has gone out on loan as well. On the other side of things, this is what we've done to try and strengthen. Kennedy comes in. He was on a free transfer, having been released by Chelsea, offering that key position that I needed, someone actually to play winger on that left-hand side. We've also brought in Dane Scarlett on loan from Spurs. He's been raved about in the community, and I wanted to see what he was actually like. He's kind of a third option. We did let Lee Griffiths go in the end, and we got this guy in on loan. We are paying all his wages, but he is the third option behind Esposito and Mateus Arezzo. It's kind of a depth option again, but he's only 18 years of age. He could do amazing things for us. Another player transfer listed, Roberto Gagliardini. He was transfer listed by Inter Milan. We picked him up for 6 million. I think he's a very good option, especially considering Natcham has gone because of my own stupidity. His contract expired and I needed to replace him. I think this guy's physicals look exactly what I'm looking for. Mentally, he's great teamwork, great work rate, very good at breaking the play up, exactly kind of what I wanted. Then we get a little bit more creative. Giovanni Lo Celso was on the transfer list from Spurs. So we paid his transfer listed fee, which was 15.25 million. He's not really played for Spurs at all in this game so far. This may be a bit of a risk because he is quite injury prone, and he's currently injured right now. He looks very nice and well-rounded, offers that little bit more of a creative element. Obviously, we've got Tonali and the other guy who we just signed from Inter is more of a defensive option. This guy I'm hoping can give us a little bit more creativity moving forward into that final third of the pitch. And then we went and picked up Tanguy Nianzou on loan from Bayern Munich. This guy's a monster if you've not used him in FM. His physicals usually all go green and his defensive attributes are very good. He's only 20 years of age. We're paying all his wages on loan from Bayern Munich. As things stand though, guys, the club vision is kind of relatively the same. There's criticisms of how much money I'm letting players go for, but it doesn't really matter. Signing players under the age of 23 for the first team, they're a bit disappointed with that. Is what it is. I think we're being successful, so that's the main thing. Sign players and sell for a profit. Obviously, they are delighted with this. We're making good money from the players that we brought in who were transfer listed. This season, they want us to reach the group stage of the Champions League, win the Premiership, win the Scottish Cup, win the Betfred Cup, and my contract expires at the end of the year, so fingers crossed. In terms of pre-season, we've been going pretty good. I try and get some of these higher profile games in so that we can actually see where we are. We lost to Watford, it's a disappointing result. We lost to Sevilla, we drew with Sevilla, we lost to Atletico Madrid, but we did beat Dortmund. So I'm holding out hope. Obviously, we need to qualify for the Champions League again. Our coefficient ranking is pretty poop. Obviously, coming out of a lesser league. Don't at me, Scottish football fans. It's listed in FM as a lesser league. We are not anywhere near in sight of the top 5 leagues in Europe. So that's kind of where we are. I'm hoping we can keep hold of everybody. The squad still is wanted. Callum Chambers wanted. Carter Vickers wanted. Tonali is the one that I'm really worried about. He's developed fantastically well and is wanted by Napoli. And who is San Sebastian in real life? Real Sociedad. So I am kind of worried about him. Fingers crossed we do manage to keep hold of him. And we go in at least until January and try and have a very good time with him in goal. Obviously, last season was about youth development, and it's kind of the same here again. Walker, still 16 years of age. He's looking much better. His positioning's gone up. His throwing's got better. He's better at one-on-ones now. All down to game time predominantly. Obviously, he did play a full season for us last season, and he will get another full season under his belt. I'm very excited about this partnership of Esposito and Arezzo. I think defensively we're quite strong. Chambers, Carter Vickers, Julian, and Joe Bryan as the defense. It probably will be Nianzou will come in at point, and I think those two will swap around. So I think it'll be Tonali, Gagliardini as the two central midfielders, Maitland-Niles on the right, Christie on the left, and then obviously Arezzo and Esposito up top. It's time to simulate season number 3 coming at you now. So it's the end of season 3, and I have to say, this is a mistake that you guys need to learn from. Sandro Tonali was sold after I started the simulation. He was sold for Arsenal for 22 million, which was his minimum fee release clause. I am such an idiot to have this in his contract. He is now worth just shy of 50 million. Arsenal paid the release clause. He went, I wasn't aware of it. He's now played a whole season in the Premier League. Fuming. I was absolutely fuming when I came back in January and I figured that this had happened. We've also let a couple of other players go. They're kind of smaller, low-fry players. Onyekuru has also gone out to Crystal Palace for 3.5 million. On the other side of things, we did bring in Sandri from Santos on a free transfer. This guy can have the potential to be a good player for us. And when I realized that Tonali had gone, we needed another body in there. We also got Nikola Milankovic. He starts the simulation at Fiorentina. Man City picked him up. He was unhappy at Man City that they hadn't played him. He's a big Serbian, great jumping reach. He's 6'5", great in the air, good marking, good tackling as well. So he was transfer listed. Despite Man City paying 26 million for him, we got him for 13. Amazing pickup. Very happy with it, with the transfers. But I'm still pissed off that Tonali went to Arsenal. So learn from my mistake, guys. Do not have minimum fee release clauses in your players' contracts. Something I will bear in mind moving forward. In terms of competitions, though, guys, this is where we are. Oh my God, what a season. What a season that is. And what a horrendous Champions League group that is. So we're going to start at the right. So Betfred Cup, we win that again. We beat Motherwell. Great. 4-2. Comfortable. Ryan Christie with a hat-trick and Arezzo with a goal. Amazing. Cool. That's the one we don't care about as much. Scottish Cup, we beat Rangers in extra time. Dane Scarlett with 2 goals, rescuing it for us actually. 81st minute to take it to extra time, then scoring in the 96th and the 113th minute. Unlucky Gerrard. Champions League, this group looks horrendous, by the way. We were in a group with Liverpool, Atletico Madrid and Dortmund. Dortmund finishing bottom with just 1 point. We almost actually squeaked through. Let's go into the Champions League. Milan, Man City, who cares? I want to see Group B. So what has happened then? So we won 3 games. Who did we beat out of curiosity? We beat Dortmund twice and we beat Liverpool at home. Let's go. Atoning for last season. And then we also lost 3. We lost away to Liverpool. We lost away to Atletico. We also lost at home to Atletico. Esposito, the 3rd highest goal scorer in the Champions League though, and we didn't even get out of the group. That's ludicrous. We must have scored some goals, man. 10 against Dortmund and 5 against Liverpool. Crazy. But that meant that we dropped into the Europa League, which we won in Season 3. We've returned European trophies to Celtic. It's not the Champions League. Celtic fans, do let me know in the comments. Would you be happy with the Europa League? I assume you would. Europa League final beat Valencia 4-1. Kennedy, Nianzou, Esposito, and Dane Scarlett. It seems like Dane Scarlett's had a hell of a season. 27 goals, 7 assists. Coming off the bench a decent amount of times, but it looks like he's had a very, very good season. He's developed a nice amount. Patrick Schick scoring for Valencia. We've won the Europa League. Did we win the Premiership? Tell me we won. Yeah, it's 100 points. It's our worst return. It's our worst points return. But we got 100 points. We beat Rangers again, 3rd trophy in a row. Celtic players dominating this, as you kind of would expect. Esposito 38 in the league, Scarlett with 18, at highest average ratings, all us. Assists again, Esposito got 15 assists and scored 38 goals. That is ridiculous. Christie again doing very well, and this is where things have changed. Walker having another good season under his belt, 29 clean sheets in the league. We've only lost twice. Who did we lose to? That's only showing me 1 game that we lost. We lost to Rangers. Doesn't matter as long as you win it, does it? So I'm just curious, what actually happened in the Europa League? So we go into the knockout stages. We beat Famalicão, I think is how you say that, from Portugal. Beat them comfortably. Beat Angers 3-2. Okay. Then we go into the actual, like, not the proper knockouts, the 2-legged knockouts. We beat Feyenoord in both games, 3-2 at home and then 4-3 away from home, going through relatively comfortably there. Then we take on Leeds. We beat Leeds at Celtic Park. Dane Scarlett doing the business, and Kennedy, and then also Esposito getting 2 away from home, seeing us comfortably through at Ellen Road. And then we go into the final, and obviously, as I showed you guys, we absolutely blitzed Valencia. Wow. Amazing stuff. What a season. Europa League. Crazy. So we go into job history. This is the one. So this is the season so far. First in all 3 seasons. 2 trophies in the first one, 3 trophies in the second, and 4 trophies in season number 3, including a Europa League. I'll be back for season number 4 in just a sec. Right, guys, it's the start of season 4, and we are going to start with the transfers. Issa Diop has left the club. He has gone to Leicester City for 20 million. We picked him up for 7.5. He was transfer listed. We sold him for 20. Again, great business from us, ultimately. It does leave us with a little bit of an issue that we had to sort. Other transfers out. Callum Chambers has gone to Bournemouth for £25 million. Giovanni Lo Celso has also gone to Bournemouth for £29.5 million. And David Turnbull has gone to Club Brugge. Again, we've absolutely smashed it in terms of the transfer window, if you ask me. Free transfers, as we always do. Foyth and Troy Parrott coming in from Spurs, both on free transfers. We also signed Fabio Orozco. He's a new gen, comes over from Colombia. Looked like a good little prospect. He was shown to me as a scout prospect, so I thought, why not? 625k, comes in, small price, hope he can do okay. We also picked up Scott McTominay, as you kind of do. He is Scottish. He was transfer listed by Manchester United, bringing him back to Scotland. We also picked up Kyle Walker. He's probably only going to play a season for us. He's 33 years of age, but again, depth at right back with Callum Chambers going out. We also picked up Patrick De Paula from, who does he come from? Palmeiras. Very, very well-rounded central midfielder. Again, we're trying to fill that void of Tonali, and I think he could help with that a little bit. We also picked up this guy. He was transfer listed by Braga. Galino looks pretty good for me. Can play on both wings. I'm probably going to play him on this right hand side. Great dribbling, good enough, decent enough passing, great physicals as well. I think is exactly what I'm looking for. Good flair as well. I'm hoping that we can actually have an out and out winger on that right hand side. Also potentially freeing up Maitland-Niles to actually play right back a bit. And the main man Tanguy's back. Nianzou comes back in on loan for a second season from Bayern Munich. So this isn't really all about elite level superstars. We've kind of got a lot more depth, so I'm thinking this is going to be a good season. Walker, again, now age 17, is growing very, very nicely. He is wanted and starting to attract attention. Mines, I think I can keep hold of him in a lot of, compared to a lot of leagues, but I think if anyone in England comes calling, I think I may struggle. He looks very good now. So in terms of his development progress, this is where we want to go. Attributes, as a goalkeeper, you can see he's improving very, very nicely. Very nice physical improvements, good mental improvements. And even then, his technical improvements, his one-on-ones have gone up 3. So's his throwing. He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. The Donnarumma fake at 17 years of age. He is the best goalkeeper in Scotland. He's now capped 16 times by Scotland. He's still only 17 and is a mainstay in the team. In terms of, let's do a quick pick without restriction, best 11. This is what my assistant says is our best 11. So Walker in goal, Maitland-Niles, Milinkovic, Nianzou, Orozco, sure, Patrick De Paula, Gagliardini, Galano, Kennedy, Esposito, Arezzo. I know what you're saying. There's not a lot of Scottish players in here. You're right. We've got Walker. He's Scottish. And we've also got Scott McTominay on the bench. We are very deep. And that is what I'm hoping can help us this season. Depth in all competitions. Obviously, as always, club vision, kind of what is to be expected. Be competitive in the Champions League. This is the first season that we will go straight into the groups, obviously, as a winner of the Europa League. We've got the European Super Cup. We take on Man City, won the Champions League. Not holding my breath there. Scottish Premiership, as always, win the Prem, win the Scottish Cup, win the Betfred Cup. The pressure is on in Scotland every single season. It's just what we can bring to the table in Europe. So, season 4, let's get into it. See you in a sec. Guys, I'm sad. I'm really, really sad. January came, so did some of the big teams. Transfer update from the middle of the season. James Forrest has gone to MK Dons. He wanted to leave. Cameron Carter-Vickers has gone for 17 million to West Ham. We got him in for free, sold him for 17 million. Again, we're getting quite good at this. Sandri, again, another player who came in for free. He wanted to leave for the Premier League. He's gone to Brighton. Again, signed him for free, sold him for almost 16 million. Milinkovic, AC Milan wanted him, and obviously he wanted to leave for AC Milan. We bought him for 15, sold him for 25. You can kind of see what we're doing here. We're building up the bank balance, but the next one, guys, the next one upsets me. Esposito's gone. He's gone to Barcelona. 32 million Barcelona paid for him. His career stats, obviously we paid 11 million for him and he's been worth every penny. If you look at his career at Celtic, 34 in 35, 38 in 34, and then this season he scored 35 goals in 21 appearances in the league, 46 goals in all competitions. This guy's a monster. He's averaging over an 8. And then he went to Barcelona and scored 8 and 15 in La Liga. I'm going to miss him. Esposito's gone, but this is what this save was all about. We knew it was going to be a challenge to keep hold of players like him, Tonali, etc. All of these wonder kids. And he went in the middle of the season. We did strengthen, though. We kind of recovered things a little bit. Carlos Rodriguez, Again, I've had this guy in my Glory Hunter save. Mexican, he comes in from Monterrey, but he was via Tottenham. Tottenham transfer listed him, so we picked him up for 17 million. Tottenham paid 4, so they've actually done relatively well with him. And we also signed Kabak, who Liverpool fans will know. He was at Schalke, again transfer listed. Bit more money this time, sorry. 34 million pounds for him. So it's expensive, but I think he's a good player. Obviously, with selling Diop and stuff, Chambers, you know, all of these players, Cameron Carter-Vickers, we needed to bolster that. And we brought in Dane Scarlett again on loan. This guy's a little monster, as you can see, on loan from him. Again, for second season on loan at Celtic, 13 appearances, 11 goals, monster. We know he's good. So in terms of all competitions, guys, this is what we won the Super Cup. This is how we got on. So we were knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Betfred Cup by Hamilton, who lost in the final to Aberdeen. So I imagine the board are going to be quite frustrated about that. We did win the Scottish Cup. We won that one 1-0. Again, beating Rangers seems to be the same old thing. Maitland-Niles with the goal from right back, doing his business there. So the Super Cup, we took on Man City. We won 3-1. Arezzo, Galino, and Patrick De Paula and Raheem Sterling scoring the goal for Man City. Look at this team though. Edison, I don't know who this guy is. Jean Couto. He's on loan at Blackburn now, so he's obviously not a starter. Diaz, Laporte, Nuno Mendes, whichever way you want to say it. He is at Man City. De Bruyne, Foden, is that Bernardo? It is Bernardo Silva, Dybala, Sterling, and then Erling Haaland up front. So for us to win this game is absolutely ridiculous. I doubt Man City took it seriously, but trophies are trophies, man. Champions League, knocked out in the quarterfinals. Oh, we got so far. Quarterfinals by Chelsea, who are in the final against Liverpool. Wowzers. And then the Scottish Premiership, did we win it again? We did. 111 points. We only lost once all season. We lost away to Rangers and then we won every other game. 111 points is almost the maximum that you can achieve. We scored 150 goals. It looks like we've absolutely just dominated the league. Esposito finishes top goal scorer despite leaving in January with 35, highest average rating as well. Galino with 20 assists. He looks like he's had a very good season. 50 appearances, 50 starts in all competitions, 25 goals and 30 assists. He has been exactly what we needed on that right midfield spot. And as you can see, we've sort of rehabilitated these players and we'll probably end up selling him in the summer, because you know what these bigger clubs are like. So Champions League then, we got to the quarterfinals after obviously winning the Europa League last year. Euro Cup's not there because obviously we didn't play in it. Champions Cup. So we get through Group E, which was ourselves, Napoli, Valencia, and Lille. You can see the progression. We lost to Lille previously. 3 wins in this one. Beat Lille twice, beat Napoli at home, drew with Valencia twice and Napoli away. Obviously no losses. Amazing. We go through the groups. Then we take on Bayern Munich. 5-3 away from home in the Stadion München. Dominating, we kind of got dominated, scoring 3 away goals in the Champions League. It's pretty good though. Lewandowski, Leroy Sané and Thomas Muller, and then we take them back to Celtic Park and we absolutely stuff them 5-2. Dane Scarlett with a hat-trick. This guy, man, Dane Scarlett loves a Champions League goal. Fair play to him. And Troy Parrott scored as well. Lucas Hernandez with an OG as well. Then we took on Chelsea, drew 1-1 at the Bridge. Tanguy with the goal, and then unfortunately back at Celtic Park we lost 2-0 to Chelsea. Erkan in goal, okay. Reece James, Zuma, Coop Miners, Gvardiol at left back. It's a waste playing him there. Kante, Odegaard, Kessie, oh my god, CH Mount, and Badaj up top. Sure, come in from Bruges. Not as strong as I have seen Chelsea be, but knocked out in the quarterfinals. Again, I think that's a very good return. So what's that? 1, 2, another treble in the books. Absolutely love to see it. In terms of job history, there we go. Played for, won 4 in the league, and another 3 trophies to add to the trophy cabinet. Season 5 is going to be a big one, guys. It's going to be the last one. Let's get into the the start of the season update. I'll be back in a sec. So then, this is the start of season 5 and it's happened again. Not only did Esposito go in the summer window after winning another 3 trophies. Maitland-Niles has gone. He has gone to Leeds for 25 million. Arezzo has gone again to Arsenal, 35.5 million for him. Ryan Christie's gone to Spurs, 15.75 for him. And the sad one for me, Adam Walker. I told you a big club would come calling. Annoyingly, he's the backup goalkeeper at Manchester City, aged 18. He's the deputy to Ederson. I don't think he'll play. I can't stop him getting a move to Man City. Obviously, for a player who cost us nothing, coming through our first ever youth intake, to go for 25.5 million is kind of all I can ask for, isn't it? So we got absolutely gutted. I've just consulted my notes. We sold 126 million's worth of players, which is absolutely ridiculous. In terms of players in, Tanguy's back for another season. We renewed him again. This guy's a monster. Final season. He's a big game player. I told you his physicals go up. He comes out on loan. We're only paying his wages. I'm going to sneeze. So he comes out on loan again. I think he could be an absolute monster for us in this 5th and final season. And also Dane Scarlett, obviously with Arezzo going, we needed a goal scorer. Scarlett comes in. He's now been capped by England, which isn't a surprise, age 20. Looks fantastic. Hopefully he can lead our line. And then other news, Galino's gone. I told you this would happen after a very good season. We picked him up for 22.5 and then I had to sell him to Monaco for 25.5 because he wanted to leave. He had a good season. I wish him all the best at Monaco. He did the job that we needed him to do. Other signings in though. I'm happy about some of these, to be perfectly honest. Eder Militao joins us from Real Madrid for this final season. 13.25 million for him. He was transfer listed again. You can kind of see what we're doing here. We spent 123 million. Pablo Zalotto comes in from River Plate, young right back. I don't know how much he'll play. Obviously now we're bringing in Militao, but he looks like a very good option. Again, another new gen. We've also got Mattia Zaccagini? Zaccagini? Sure. Central midfielder, looks like a good prospect, can passable. Again, much the same as we had with Lo Celso. We kind of need someone to get the ball moving in central midfield, and I think it's going to be this guy. Thomas Krakoschka, obviously we sold a goalkeeper. We had to replace him with a goalkeeper. He was transfer listed by Lazio. I have no idea why. We've definitely matured in that area. I don't know if we've improved. Seasoned goalkeeper, obviously, as you can see, he's played a lot of games for Lazio in this game on its own. So 15.5 million for him. I think it's a good pickup. Obviously, with the money that we lost Walker for, we've replaced him with a goalkeeper and 10 million. I think it's a decent pickup. Eddie Nketiah, we spent some money. We needed to get a striker. Arezzo went to Arsenal. We bought Nketiah. He's down at a 3-star. I don't think he's played too much for Arsenal in this simulation. He's played a decent amount. He played 30 games in the Prem last season, obviously prompting them to buy Arezzo. I think we can tune Nketiah and get some good results out of him. And then the big one, David Neres comes in from PSG. These are much more household names joining Celtic now, so I think I've done a decent job. Obviously, he's been capped by Brazil. He comes away from PSG. We paid a lot of money for him, 38 million. It's a lot of it's installments, guys, but it is what it is. We spent a lot of money. We made a lot of money. I think, as you can see, we're doing pretty well. Obviously, same goals for this season. Reach the first knockout round of the Champions League. They are obviously expecting a little bit more of me, and then win everything in Scotland again. So let's get into the season. This is the 5th and final season. I'll be back in a sec. So it is the end of the season, and as you can see, Dane Scarlett, 60 goals for us in all competitions, 51 appearances in all comps, 60 goals, 14 assists. This guy is an absolute monster. He's now a 4.5-star advanced forward. He's a beast, and he is ready-made to go right back into Tottenham's team. We've had a very good season by the looks of things. I'm at an A+. Overall, I do have to update you guys on a transfer that happened in January. We had to let some more players go. It's absolutely ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. Reece Nelson's gone to Chelsea for 28.5 million. Foyth, who we picked up for free, has gone to Burnley for 19 million up front, could rise to 24.5. And Orozco, who we picked up for 600k. 875k once all the add-ons were done, has now gone to Valencia for 23.5 million. Again, it was his release clause, but I thought the profit made on it kind of outweighed it. So Reece Nelson left. We brought in Adama Traore, 14.75 million up front, could rise to 22. Calafiori, we needed a left back, obviously with the dude leaving to Valencia, so we picked up this guy. Young, can do the job, good up and down the field. And we also brought in Kevin Ehlers, is how I'm going to say this, German guy. He's nothing spectacular, but we needed a little bit more depth with Foyth going out the other way. This is the final season, guys, so I'm hoping things went as well as they possibly could. We were in a good spot in January. Over to the competitions tab. Okay. Okay, it looks like we've done a quadruple. It looks like we've won the Premiership again, which we have. 110 points, unbeaten season. Wow. Did not lose. Who did we draw with? Hibs and Dundee. Oh, they're such winnable games. Oh, I'd love to have just won every game of the season. Scarlett absolutely smashing it. Strakosha with the highest number of clean sheets, absolutely bossing it again. Betfred Cup, beat Hibs in the final 3-1. Scarlett with 2, Kabak with header, I assume, from a corner, and Dane Scarlett missed the penalty as well, so he could have had a hat-trick in that cup final. Scottish Cup 6-3 against Aberdeen. Dane Scarlett with 1, Zagani with a hat-trick, Nyanzu with 1, and Kennedy with 1. Marlon Pack, ex-Bristol City, scoring for Aberdeen. Love to see it. But another trophy in the bag. Scottish Premiership we've already covered. Champions League group in with Inter and Bayern. We didn't quite get through. Means we drop into the Europa League. And we won the Europa League again, guys. 2 Europa Leagues, 2 European trophies back in the Celtic trophy cabinet with me as manager. So filter, let's have a look, see what happened in the Europa League this time. So we drop into, obviously, the first knockout stage. We beat Fenerbahce relatively comfortably. We take on Atalanta. We beat them 4-2 at home and unfortunately lose 1-0 away, but we'd already done the job at home. A little bit risky, a little bit squeaky bum time with them getting the 2 away goals, but there you go. We take on Everton in the quarterfinals, beat Everton 1-0 at home, and then 3-1 at Goodison. It's not Goodison, they've already moved. They've moved stadium. Okay, fair play to them. Ooh! Glasgow derby in the semi-finals of the Europa League. We beat Rangers 2-1 at Ibrox, and then we take them back to Celtic Park and absolutely tranks them 5-2, and then we take on Dortmund in the final and we win 4-1. Jadon Sancho still at Dortmund in this save. He's not gone to Manchester United just yet. And on the other side of it, Dane Scarlett scores a hat-trick in the final and Troy Parrott adds another one. This guy is an absolute monster. So in terms of finances and balance and stuff, we've moved around. I think we're leaving Celtic in a much better position than where they were previously. And obviously, we've kind of halted Rangers even touching silverware for the most part. In terms of my job history, this is where we've been. We've had 5 seasons. We've won the league 5 times in a row. We've had 2 quadruples. We've won Europa Leagues. We've won Scottish Cups. This has been one hell of a rebuild. I know some of you guys like to see the save, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to the save down in the description below, so you can go and check out the save, take a look at the ins and outs and see what I've actually done with Celtic. And that is where I'm going to leave it. Who would you like to see me rebuild next? I've seen a lot of shouts for Arsenal, so I will bear that one in mind, but put down in the comments who you would like me to rebuild next. But that is where I'm going to leave things for today. If you have enjoyed this rebuild, I know it's a long video, please do drop a like on the video down below, subscribe if you are new around here, and ring that bell so you're told each and every time that we upload a video to the channel. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you on another one very soon.